My husband treats our kitchen like a prison. I got caught smuggling a Happy Meal through the window like a drug dealer. Am I the a-hole? My husband, Mark, is 42. He's a self-proclaimed fitness optimizer. He spends $600 a month on supplements, but he refuses to buy bread. Since his daughter, Chloe, moved in, he's put her on a strict diet. Chloe is 14. She's a varsity swim team captain. She's always hungry. Raw liver smoothies are on the menu. 0 sugar, and absolutely no carbs after 4 p.m. The breaking point was last Tuesday. I found Chloe crying in the pantry at 11 p.m. She was eating dry oats out of the canister. She was starving after practice. Mark had served deconstructed kelp lasagna for dinner. It broke my heart. So, I started the speakeasy. I bought a hollowed-out fake electrical box. I put it in the garage. I filled it with forbidden goods. Goldfish crackers, protein bars that actually taste good, dried mango. I told Chloe, what happens in the garage stays in the garage. It became our bonding ritual. We'd sneak out for evening walks. They were actually stealth drive-through runs for nuggets. Yesterday, disaster struck. Mark found a crumpled Taco Bell receipt. It was in my jacket pocket. He was looking for keys. He went full detective mode. He tore the garage apart. He found the fake electrical box, and he exploded. He accused me of poisoning his child. He said I was sabotaging her athletic potential. He threw about $80 worth of snacks into the yard waste bin. Chloe screamed at him to stop. Now he's saying I have no right to interfere. He says it's his parenting decision. He says I'm just the stepmom. He's demanded I apologize to him and Chloe. He says I'm teaching her to be deceitful. Chloe is locked in her room. She refuses to eat his apology kale. Mark is sleeping in the guest room. He says he will until I admit I was wrong. I think I'm feeding a hungry kid. He thinks I'm a saboteur. So, am I the a-hole? Did I overreact, or is he being completely unreasonable? Let me know what you think. My husband stole our IVF money. Then, he demanded I use my dead grandma's inheritance to fix it. I'm a 28-year-old woman. Right now, I'm sitting in a Motel 6. I don't feel safe in my own apartment. My 32-year-old husband, Mark, and I have been saving for 3 years. We wanted to start IVF. We had exactly $35,000. It was in a high-yield savings account. Our baby fund. 2 months ago, my grandmother passed away. It was devastating. She left me an inheritance of $150,000. I haven't touched it yet. I wanted to let the grief settle before making any financial decisions, but that's when things got crazy. Tonight, Mark made a special dinner. He poured me wine. He rubbed my shoulders. And then, he dropped the bomb. He told me his brother, Greg, is in deep trouble. Apparently, he owes some loan sharks $50,000 because of sports betting. Mark looked me in the eye and said, "We need to use your inheritance to pay this off. Family comes first." I immediately said no. I told him Greg is an adult. I'm not using my grandmother's legacy to fund his gambling addiction. That's when Mark started hyperventilating. Wait until you hear this. He confessed that he already gave Greg money. He drained our entire $35,000 IVF fund 3 weeks ago. He handed it to Greg, thinking Greg would win it back on a sure-thing bet and repay us before I ever checked the account. Obviously, Greg lost it all. So now, the money for our future child is gone. Mark isn't asking for the inheritance to help Greg. He's asking for it to cover up his own theft. He doesn't want me to find out he emptied our account. He needs $50,000 to clear the remaining debt. He wants me to replenish the IVF fund with the rest. When I started screaming, he told me I was being materialistic. He said, "Money is renewable, but my brother isn't." He actually said, "If you don't do this, you're choosing a dead woman over my living family." Can you believe it? His mom just texted me. She said I'm a heartless snob for hoarding cash while her son is in danger. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. I'm refusing to transfer a cent. But now Mark says I've destroyed our marriage and his relationship with his brother. Am I wrong for letting his brother sink?
Girl, run. He stole from you. He's manipulating you, and his mom is enabling him. This is a huge red flag.
Oh yeah, family first. Except for your family, apparently. He gambled away your future. You're definitely not the a-hole.
Divorce him, seriously. He's shown you who he is, believe him and get a lawyer now.
Did I overreact, or is he completely out of line? Let me know what you think. My husband was secretly funding his ex-girlfriend's lifestyle. I found out, and I took revenge on livestream. I'm 27. I just canceled my 30-year-old husband's credit card. He's asleep right next to me, and I'm watching his ex-girlfriend have a complete meltdown on Instagram Live because her rent payment just bounced. Here's the deal. My husband, Mark, and I have been eating rice and beans for 2 years. We're supposedly saving for a down payment on a house. He watches every single cent I spend at Target, constantly lecturing me about our financial goals. He told me he blocked his ex, Sophie, who is 23, years ago. He said she was toxic and obsessed with social media clout. Last night, Mark left his iPad unlocked on the kitchen counter. I went to check the weather, but a notification popped up from PayPal. Automatic payment sent, $1,800 to Sophie Creates. My stomach dropped. I opened the app. It wasn't just once. For the last 8 months, Mark has been sending her nearly $2,000 a month under the label consulting services. That is $16,000 of our house money. I immediately went to Sophie's Instagram. She's a wannabe lifestyle influencer with 10,000 followers. Her latest post from yesterday was a photo of a new Louis Vuitton bag with the caption, "So grateful for my silent investor who believes in my vision when no one else does. Blessed." I didn't wake him up. I didn't scream. Instead, I went nuclear. I logged into our joint bank account, flagged the transactions as unauthorized fraud, and froze the card. I disputed the last 3 months of payments. Fast forward to 20 minutes ago. Sophie went live. She's crying, mascara running everywhere, screaming that her bank account is locked due to a fraud investigation. Her landlord is threatening eviction because the transfer was reversed. She literally yelled, "Mark, pick up your phone." He's stirring right now. When he wakes up, he's going to find out his credit score is tanked, and his investment is public enemy number 1. Part of me feels like I took it too far by getting the bank involved legally. But looking at my empty savings account, I don't think I care. Am I the villain for not just confronting him first? Did I overreact, or did he deserve it? Let me know what you think. My roommate owed me almost $3,000 in rent. Then, she bought a designer bag for the same price. I'm 26, and I've been covering for my roommate Bella, who is also 26, since October. She owes me exactly $2,800 in back rent and utilities. Every time I ask for the money, she gives me the puppy dog eyes. She says, "I'm waiting on a freelance check," or "My parents are wiring it tomorrow." I believed her because we've been best friends since college, and I didn't want to kick her out while she was struggling. Last Tuesday, I came home from a double shift at the hospital. Bella was unboxing a brand new limited edition Gucci Jackie bag. I stared at it, stunned. "Is that real?" I asked. She laughed, posing in the mirror. She said, "Yeah, treat yourself, right? It was a steal at $2,900. I needed a pick-me-up." My blood instantly boiled. I'm eating instant ramen and picking up extra shifts so she can have a roof over her head, and she drops nearly $3,000 on a purse. I asked for the rent immediately. She waved me off, rolling her eyes. She said, "Don't be a vibe kill, the poster. I'll pay you next week, I promise." On Friday, she went away for a weekend trip, which she also apparently could afford. She left the bag sitting on the kitchen counter. I made a split-second decision. I took the bag, the receipt, and the dust cover. I drove to a high-end luxury consignment shop downtown. Because it was brand new with tags and highly sought after, they offered me $2,500 cash on the spot. I took it. I immediately deposited the money into my bank account to cover her debt. When Bella got back yesterday and couldn't find the bag, she started tearing the apartment apart. I sat her down on the couch and handed her an envelope. It contained a spreadsheet of her debts and $300 cash, the difference. I said, "Your rent is paid up through January. Here is the change," she screamed. Like horror movies screamed. She tried to call the police, but since she has no proof, she didn't give it to me to sell. It's a he said she said situation. They told her it's a civil matter. Now she's blasting me on TikTok, calling me a thief, and our mutual friends are blowing up my phone. They're saying I had no right to touch her personal property, even if she owed me money. They say I should have just evicted her legally. but I was about to miss my own car payment because of her. Am I the a-hole? Did I overreact, or was I justified? Let me know what you think.